This segment of CoastLife is sponsored by the Spice and Tea Exchange of Rehoboth.
We know that tipping culture can get a little bit out of hand, especially with all of the kind of kiosks now and the digital tipping. It's a little like after every move you make, it's like, did you want a tip? And you're like, I don't know. Did anybody help me? I'm not sure.
It's like, I'm at the dentist. Why are we tipping here?
Yeah, and that's what our Spill the Tea has to do today with tipping culture. Was this guy wrong? Was this guy right? But first, of course, we got to dive into the tea that we are drinking from our friends at the Spice and Tea Exchange on Rehoboth Avenue in Rehoboth Beach. Charlie, what are we drinking?
Well, first of all, I can tell you, it's a great aroma. I can smell it already. It's wonderful. This is the Superberry Trifecta Green Tea. I was going to try to say strawberry. It's the Superberry.
I've picked every lofty title I can find to give Charlie.
Superberry Trifecta Green Tea. It is a remarkable medley of superfruits, acai, aronia, and elderberry, producing a juicy sweetness that is both earthy and tart, and balanced by the structure provided by a vibrant green tea and a blackberry leaf. So.
Yum.
Sounds delicious.
It really
get into
does.
this. I'm going to start pouring it.
You start spilling, I'll start spilling. So, our tea today. Gentleman grabbed lunch, ordered through a self-checkout kiosk. No server, no table service, just kind of grab and go. When the screen asks for a tip, our boy skipped it because he's like, I just grabbed and I went. When the screen asked for a tip, he said no tip. His friend says he's kind of being cheap and that the staff still deserves a tip. Well, what do you think? Should you tip at self-checkout, or was he right to hit skip?
So we are talking food here. So when it comes to food, I do typically tip either way, but I am perfectly fine if somebody decides I wasn't helped by anybody. I walked in myself. I grabbed the food myself. I checked out myself. I'm not sure who you're tipping at that point.
Yeah.
If the tip is split up at all by the people in the back of the house, which is not always the case,
right,
then somebody did do something, obviously, to put that food out there. But if it is literally just somebody walking it from the back to the front, I don't hate on this person for not doing it. I typically do it just out of sheer, my rules are I'm a tipper.
I'm a tipper.
But, and especially when food and or, you know, food, hair, like the normal tipping things. Living
in this area, too, will make you a tipper because it is such a hospitality industry heavy. There's so many people involved that, you know, you need to tip because that's how a lot of the businesses around here not only run, but you get a lot of really great service around here. So it's important to tip. I do think.
But when you get no service, when service was not part of it,
you just grab and go.
If the person doesn't want to tip, I can't hold anything against them for that.
Yep. So we always turn this conversation over to the comments, and people are disagreeing here. Denise says somebody prepared that food; they should be tipped. Steve says absolutely not. Barb says yes, he was right to skip. Dawn says if you have the money, go ahead and put a little extra tip in the jar, but it shouldn't be expected or required. Maureen says if you're not getting the personalized service, no tip should be given. And I do think sometimes, you know, I don't know if it's intentionally nebulous now with tipping culture, but I do think, you know, a lot of times your kitchen staff, they get paid a wage. It's your server staff and your bartenders that don't. And so they're the ones that, you know, they'll spread the tips out. They're the ones that kind of tip each other out depending on how the night goes. So I think he's okay to skip in this story.
I think it's okay to skip. I think it's okay to tip here. I think that it is one of those
whatever feels right for you.
It is one of those gray areas because usually with tipping, I'm very firm about how I feel, but this actually does fall into that middle ground.
That grab and go makes it tricky. But enjoying tea is never tricky, Charlie. Let's
give it a go.
See what we got here.
We got a Superberry.
Taste the trifecta.
I was absolutely going to say that, and that's hilarious.
But you actually can, though. It's pretty.
It's great. I really like this. This is one of the better teas we've had, and we've had some great ones here.
We have, and this is another one that I think you could serve hot or iced, and it would be great. I remember last week I said I was going to make an iced tea. I didn't. I apologize, but you can find it all at the Spice and Tea Exchange on Rehoboth Avenue in Rehoboth Beach.
And make sure you tune in next week when she also won't have made an iced tea.
I will continue to forget to brew an iced tea. It's all the fun that we have here on CoastLife. If you're just struggling with your fitness goals, though, we've got the team that can help you out. That's on the way.